Hey, my YouTube friends. Tonight I am going to be making country fried steak, tomato gravy with green beans and butter potatoes. And I'm going to attempt to make some biscuits. I've never made them before, but we're going to try it. We'll see how it goes. In the end, I will let you know if it is a total fail or if it is turned out pretty good. All right, here we go. Okay, so we have our green beans going, and yes, that is an onion. I cut up or peel an onion and throw it in my green beans when I have the canned green beans, and it, after you cook them, it makes them taste like, fresh green beans. So that was a little tip for the cooking. Once I've started boiling, I'll turn it down to a low medium, and let it just cook for about 30 minutes. We've got our potatoes cooking. I just peeled some russet potatoes. I left the peel on some of them. Some of them I peeled them all the way. We're just going to turn them on low and let them cook for about 20 minutes or so. Now we are going to start on our cube steak. I've got it seasoned on one side. I'm going to add a little bit of garlic salt and pepper, however you want to season yours. All I did with mine was garlic salt and seasoning salt. We're just going to take it, dip it in the flour, and set it on our little cooling rack. I like to put it on a cooling rack because it kind of helps the flour stick to it a little bit. I don't know. That's just the way I do it. I'm just using all-purpose flour. I don't have any seasoning or anything in the flour. I seasoned my meat a little bit. I did a little heavy-handed on the garlic salt, but again, that's because this is just plain flour, and it's going to help us season the gravy. So I'm just going to get the rest of these floured and set to the side, and when the grease is ready, we will start putting them in the grease. I'm going to check my grease and see if it's hot enough. When you add your flour and it starts bubbling, that means your grease is hot. So now we're going to start adding our cube steak and start cooking. I'm just using regular vegetable oil to fry my country fried steak or my cube steak in. And I'm just going to add them slowly, one at a time. Try not to move it around a whole lot because we want the flour to stay on the meat, but that's okay if some gets in the pan because that's what we're going to use for our gravy. I'm going to let these cook about, maybe 2 minutes on each side, or on one side, and then I'm going to flip them over and let them brown on the other side. I'm going to let the rest of these cook real quick, and as soon as I get ready to pull them out of the frying pan, I will be right back. Alright, we are nice and brown on both sides and just about ready to take it out. I have another cooling rack, and I put some paper towels in the bottom of my pan and balled up a couple balls of aluminum foil to keep it up, and I'm just going to take the meat out, set them on the cooling rack, and fry some more. You can kind of tell how most of the flour stayed on the meat, but some of it is still some of it stayed in the bottom of the pan, which is perfect because that is what we're going to use to make our gravy with. And it is going to be absolutely amazing. This is the easiest gravy that I'm fixing to show you guys. It is so easy to make this. We're going to go ahead and finish up cooking the rest of the meat, and I will be right back with you guys as soon as we're done. Okay, we're through frying all of our meat, and I'm going to let this sit for just a few minutes and let it cool. I'm going to drain all the grease off of it, but don't stir it, because all this yummy bunches of goodness in here is what we're going to use to help flavor our gravy. I left everything in. I just drained the grease off of it. I have diced up one medium onion, and we're going to add it back to our pan. There's nothing in the pan now except for the drippings, the crumb and crusties, and the goodies from our meat. And I'm going to add a little bit of water to this, turn it back on, and we're just going to cook our onions until they're almost translucent. We just want it to be a little bit clear, and just scrape all everything that's stuck to the bottom of the pan. We're just going to scrape that all up, stir it up really good, and maybe 2 to 3 minutes we're going to let this cook before we add the other ingredients to it. Alrighty, our onions are just about done, and we're gonna now add a can of tomato sauce. I think this is a 28-ounce can. Just open the jar, we're gonna dump it in, stir it all up, and our gravy is done. The easiest gravy that you will ever make, and it is so tasty. We're just going to stir it up really good. We do not have to add any more seasonings to this, because all of the drippings that have come off of the meat, that has seasoning in it. And we are going to add our meat back to this, so it will flavor it some more. But that's it. Easy peasy tomato gravy. Alright, here we go. We're going to add our meat and turn it off. You do not need this to cook anymore. The meat's hot, the gravy's hot. We're just going to make sure everything's covered good. Really swirl it around, make sure the top and bottom's coated. And we're going to let this sit. Let all the flavors mingle and just simmer in the gravy until we're ready for dinner. Whoops, look at there. That one don't want to come off the fork. Oh, and the gravy too, it will thicken as it sits. And it's going to soak up into the breading or the crust that's on your cube steak. Again, this is the best and easiest gravy that you will ever make. You have got to try it. When you try this, leave me a comment below, or if you've had this before, leave me a comment and let me know if your recipe is about the same or if you do something different with your gravies. And also, if you guys know how to make a brown gravy, or if you can tell me how to make a brown gravy, please tell me. I need an easy way. I cannot make brown gravy. I don't know why. I either have a double heaping pot of gravy. I can make it. It looks really pretty, but it doesn't taste right. It tastes like flour or burnt grease or something. I don't know what I'm doing to it. So yeah, help me out. Leave me a recipe too if you know, or you can tell me how to make some brown gravy, and I will definitely try it. Okay, and now for the biscuits. I have 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I am going to use 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. This is the first time I've made this, and we're gonna see how it turns out. When we add our milk, you're just gonna add a little bit at a time. Stir it up a little bit, and then add some more. With this recipe, I've noticed it's very, very sticky. I don't know if that's normal, if that's how it's supposed to be, but this is pretty sticky. That's the last little bit of milk. We're gonna stir this up some more and get ready to pat it out. Alright, so now I'm gonna add a little bit of flour to my countertop. I'm just doing this straight on my countertop. And then we're gonna add the biscuit dough. I'm gonna add a little bit of flour to my hands so my hands don't get all sticky-fied from this dough, because like I said, this dough is pretty sticky. I have the dough out on the counter. I'm gonna add a little bit more flour to the top so it'll be easier to manage. I'm gonna press it out a little bit, fold it over a couple of times, and then I'm gonna grab my rolling pin and, you know, spread it out a little bit more. I think we want about a 1/2 inch thick. I'm going to speed this up a little bit so you don't have to, you know, sit here and watch it. Although it is pretty relaxing. I really enjoyed this, as a matter of fact. And I didn't even realize this until I was playing it back. I'm using this rolling pin all wrong. I'm supposed to be using it with the handles, but instead I'm rolling it with the ball, or the whatever you call it, the loggy part. I just got this rolling pin. I've been using a long glass, and I guess that's why I was rolling it like that, because that's how I had to use my glass. Okay, so now, yes, I'm using one of my mason jar lids, but look, it's so perfect. I told you this is the first time I've ever made biscuits, so I'm just having to go with the flow here. I'm gonna cut out all of the biscuits, and then we're gonna put them in the oven. Also, leave me a comment. I seen somewhere or read somewhere that, you seen how I was twisting it? They said don't twist them. Have you ever heard this before? Something about if you twist them it seals and they don't rise as well. So you'll see at the end, my biscuits do not rise. I don't know if I didn't have enough baking powder or if it's because I twisted my cutter. I'm not really sure, but if you guys know, please leave me a message in the comments below. I'm going to go ahead and speed this up again while I cut out the rest of these biscuits. Alright, I have my oven preheated to 400 degrees. Here are my beautiful little biscuits, and whoop, with the magic of YouTube, they are out. I cooked them for 15 minutes. Oh, they are hot, hot, hot. But I am going to try one. I am so excited. We're gonna open it up. It's nice and little fluffy. I'm gonna add some butter and taste it. I am so excited to try these. I have never made homemade biscuits before. Good.
Hang on. I just took it.
Is it good? Sorry guys, I lost the footage of plating it, but it was delicious. We have a seal of approval. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Sorry about the video at the end where we plated it and we were eating. It was so delicious. I don't know if I lost it. I don't know if I didn't hit the record button or what. I'll do better next time, I promise. Leave a comment below if you enjoyed this video and if you try it. Also, don't forget, if you guys know a good way or an easy way to fix some brown gravy, let me know. Thanks, guys. Until next time. Bye.